specifically the people that you're bringing in, makes everything that much easier. You know what I'm saying? It's like, think about it. You gotta think like an organization. You know what I mean? Like remember, we're building a team, right? So when you look at teams, any team setting, like they strategically pick the people that they bring onto their team, right? So even in a job setting, right? Everybody puts in applications, but everybody doesn't get hired. You know what I'm saying? So for us, we're just so quick to bring anybody into the business, then we don't really qualify them, and that's why we get the situation that we get, right? We get people that don't plug in, they're this and they're that, you know what I mean? Because we didn't really qualify them. Which, don't get me wrong, we want people to join and we want to help them transition to be good leaders, but it just makes your business flow that much better when you're actually able to strategically pick the people that you bring in with you, right? Especially when you get into the higher ranks, you're definitely going to want some people around you that you're going to be able to depend on, right? That are going to have skills in different areas that you don't have, right? Um, so yeah, like when I think about like football, that's my favorite. Like any type of sports in general. When I think about sports, like they do recruiting. You know what I mean? They do recruiting, right? They do strategic recruiting. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here really quick. Boom. Right? So they do strategic recruiting, right? So what we're going to go over is we're going to go over form, right? What is form? Form is something that we're able to use to be able to figure out exactly who it is we're bringing into our business and really see if that's someone that we really want to spend time with them or not, right? Getting to know the person like without having it come off like you're interviewing them. You know what I mean? But like still having it come off like a friendly relationship type of thing, you know? So the main things that really makes form super dope is, like I said, is strategic recruiting. Think about like in the NFL, everybody just don't go to the NFL. Like you got to be the cream of the crop. You know what I mean? You got to be the best of the best in order to make it to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So one of the things that form does for us is it helps us work smarter and not harder, right? Because that way you're spending time with the people that are actually going to be beneficial to your business, right? You're not talking to a bunch of people that aren't even going to have the money to start, right? You're not talking to a bunch of people who already make money and they don't even have a need for this. You know what I mean? So this forming is it really helps you cut down the time, especially for those of us who have businesses, who have jobs, who have children, they go to school, all the other things that you have going on in your life. This is what makes things that much easier for you because you're working smarter and not harder, right? And then also, when you're forming someone, you always want to be genuine, right? Like when you're forming someone, you're getting to know someone, right? You're going to be relationship building, right? So you definitely want to be genuine. You don't want to come across like, oh, I just want to hurry up and get to know you guys to see how you're going to benefit me, you know? You want to be really strategic. I mean, you want to be really genuine, and when you're really getting to know someone, because that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be relationship building, right? You're going to be building a relationship with someone, so that way you can get to know who they are, what makes them tick. What are their goals in life? Where do they see themselves going? Um, what do they like to eat? Like little stupid stuff like that. Like that's your job. You know what I mean? Your job is to get to know them, right? So I'm gonna just go over what form stands for. So it's an acronym, obviously. What does it stand for? So the F in form is gonna stand for family, right? Family. What you're gonna be using it for is to get to know why, right? So you're gonna be talking to someone, and this is all gonna come in like a normal conversation, right? Like as you're getting to know them, you're gonna figure out like, do they have kids? Do they have a spouse? Do they live with their mom? Do they live with their grandma? You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna ask them about like, hey, do you got kids or are you married? Do you got a girlfriend? Like that. A lot of times that's people's why, right? So once you figure out their why, then you're gonna be able to figure out what makes them tick. You know what I mean? Now you know what motivates this person, right? Now you know what you're gonna be able to leverage when it comes time for closing the deal and who it is you want inside your business, right? If you have someone that they have like children, this person is going to have a really strong why. You know what I mean? If you have someone who like lives with their mom and they want to like help their mom retire, or they want to help their grandma retire, like this person is going to have a strong why. So that's definitely someone that you want in your business, right? So again, like I said, we're going to be being strategic with these things that we're going to be choosing here, right? So the O is going to stand for occupation. Occupation is going to help you decide like what do they do for a living, right? You want to figure out what it is that they do. How do they make money already, right? Because you never know. You could be talking to someone who's like a banker. Maybe they already know something about Forex, right? But they kind of want to know how to make money themselves. They've already been seeing how the Forex market works, right? But then also you could be talking to someone who works at McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely want to know your crowd. This is what's going to help you figure out who are you bringing into your business, right? You might ask them, what do you do for work? How do you make money? And they might tell you, oh, I'm a site manager at so and so. Like what? Like you just boom, you just hit the jackpot, yo. You just came upon someone who's a major leader in a large organization, right? So this person is really going to be able to help you build your business. You know what I'm saying? So, and then also it also helps you understand like how this person moves, like what they choose for work and what they do, like if they're in the construction. So like they're more of a hands-on learner. Like occupation is super important because like I said, it's also going to tell you whether they're going to have money, right? Depending on what job it is, and it's also going to tell you what type of leader that they might be. I'm not saying that someone working at McDonald's can't be a good leader, but obviously, if you find someone who is like even if they're a supervisor at their job, like those are leadership qualities, things that you want to see. You know what I mean? So for the R is going to be recreation, right? Recreation. So recreation is what's going to help you figure out what they like to do for fun. You know what I'm saying? Like what do they like to do for fun, right? Like what do they do in their spare time, right? Because you want to figure out what it is that they do in their spare time. Are you the type of person that likes to play video games? You know what I mean? Do you like to, go and shoot pool? Do you like to go to the club? What do you like to do in their spare time? Why? Once you figure out what you do in their spare time, then you're able to relate with this person, right? Then you're able to relate with this person. Then you're able to say like, oh, okay, yeah, me too. Like say for instance, they like to watch basketball. Oh, bet. Who's your favorite team? Right? Boom. Now we shooting it about basketball, right? Or they watch UFC. You know what I mean? Who's your favorite, UFC fighter right now? Boom. Now we shooting it about UFC. Using the recreation is super dope because it helps you figure out what it is they like to do, and then you can relate to them. And that's a huge part in relationship building is relating. Right? Relationship building, relating. Get it? All right, cool. So, anyways, figuring out what they like to do for fun is like huge. I'm telling you, like, because you're able to relate and like that person is gonna open up to you. I'm telling you guys, like I do this for a living outside of this business, plus in this business, right? So I'm speaking from experience, right? So when you can relate to someone, it's gonna help them open up to you, all right? So the last thing and the most important thing of this is money, right? You want to figure out what type of money do they have? Are they even ready to get started? You know what I'm saying? You want to figure out, and you're not going to ask them necessarily like, do you got money to get started? But you ask them in a different way, right? Have you been saving up? Like, are you ready to really start investing? You know what I mean? Have you been working on, what your investment ideas are, and you're ready to get started on that? You want to ask them things like that. You don't necessarily want to ask them, well, you got 235 right now, you ready to get started? No, you don't want to say stuff like that. Like, man, have you been saving? Like, are you ready to start investing? Like, is this the right time? Is this the right time for you to start investing? Like things like that. Because a lot of times they'll tell you, no, it's not. You know what I mean? My engine just blew. You know what I mean? They'll tell you, no, the AC went out at the crib. You feel me? Like those are the type of things that you're gonna need to know. Why? Because they may not be so quick to join your business, right? Then you know that those are objections, which is what you guys just watched, that you're not gonna be able to overcome, right? Those are objections that you're not going to be able to overcome, right? And then also it's going to tell you if they do have the money, because a lot of people will tell you, yeah, I've been saving up. I got this, I've been getting unemployment. Yeah, I get a bonus this week. I've been looking at investing. I've been saving up for it. Those are all the things that you want to know because those are what's you're building that relationship, and that's what helps you close the deal, right? So let me tell you, I'm gonna just do like a quick like mock walkthrough, right? Just so you guys can have an idea of what it looks like and how I talk to people. So whenever I'm talking to someone, this is how I talk to them, right? I'll be like, hey, bro, what's going on? This is after I've already, broken the ice and we're already talking a little bit, right? So I'm going ahead and I'm gonna form them, right? I'm gonna figure out, say, hey, bro, are you married or you got any kids? They'll be like, yeah, man, I got a couple kids. I got a wife. We live over, across the hills. I'm like, oh man, that's cool, man. I'm a dad too. I actually have a wife myself. So shout out to all the dads out there, doing their thing. I'm a family man myself, so that's super dope. What is it that you do for work? He'd be like, oh man, I work down at the construction site. I'm the supervisor. That's pretty much what I've been doing my whole life. I'm pretty hands on. You'd be like, oh man, that's cool. That's dope. I see that you're in a leadership position. You've been handling your business, putting in work. But what do you do outside of that? What do you like to do for fun? What's fun to you? And they'd be like, oh man, I just I sit back and I watch UFC. I just relax, and I like to watch the fights on the weekend. You're like, oh man, I know. Did you catch the so and so fight last week? That fight was dope. Did you catch it? He knocked him out in like 10 seconds, man. It was some crazy stuff. He's like, oh man, I know, man. And the fights before that, and boom, you guys are shooting the stuff, right? And then you're like, all right, cool, yeah, yeah. But so, man, so are you ready? Have you been thinking about investing? Like, have you been saving up, or are you ready to, is it something that you've been thinking about getting interested in, or what? And he'd be like, you know what, man, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I've been putting some money to my savings account. I was playing around on Robinhood for a little while. I threw like $100 in there just to see what it could do, and I didn't really do much, but yeah, I think I'm ready to get started. Boom. Now, once you get that person on a phone call, or you get that person introduced to the business, or you get that person anything going forward, you know everything you need to know about this person, right? You know everything you need to know. So whenever they say, say for instance, they say like, "Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know if this is the right time." But I thought you said, that your family was a big deal to you. I thought you said that you were wanting to, help your kids learn a new skill set. You didn't want to have them doing construction. You want to have them do something different. You don't want to say it like that. But you want to say, something. You could say something like, what, I'm showing my kids this. This is something I feel like they can really benefit from. And I think that if you showed your kids this as well, this might be something that you're looking for. You don't got to necessarily like pull that kind of card on them, but you got to figure out the ways to talk to people. You got to figure out the ways to push those buttons without pushing those buttons. You know what I mean? Without them even knowing that you're pushing them, but you're triggering them because you're pushing them in the right direction. So I don't feel like it's a bad thing. I don't feel like it's something that, it's like you're being like deceptive, or you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, because it's almost, sometimes you almost have to like trick people into believing in themselves. You know what I mean? You almost have to trick people to like take that leap of faith. And it's like, man, I really wish you told me about this, right? So again, I'm gonna go ahead and break this down here really quick, you guys, just to make it super simple for us. Like I said, this is strategic recruiting. This makes you work smarter and not harder, bro, because you know the people that you're bringing into your business. You know the person that you're getting on that call was a car, right? So when you call me and you tell me, hey, Nate, I need a three-way. All right, bet. Tell me about them. Man, you can tell me about how many kids they got. You can tell me what they like to do for fun. You can tell me where they work, and you can tell me if they even got money to start, right? So then when I come into the conversation, now I have ammo, right? Now I know what to talk. Yeah, Terry told me a little bit about you, bro. He told me you like to go down and shoot hoops. He told me that you work down at the plant. You know what I'm saying? And you had some money and you were thinking about investing in something. You told me that you had a couple kids that, have looked up to you. Maybe you were working on getting custody of them. Like those are things that I can use when I'm talking to this person, bro. And I know how to throw it in a certain way to where it pinches them in the right spot. You know what I'm saying? To where it puts a fire under their belt. You feel me? And then also what this does as well is it makes you work smarter, because it's like, okay, say for instance, you find out a person doesn't even have money to start, right? Like I told you, their engine just blew, right? They just lost their car. We're not going to so much go after that person so much, because they're not going to have money to start right now. You're going to put them in your back pocket, and you're going to move on to somebody else. You know what I mean? You're going to spend your time on someone else. You're not going to spend your time going back and forth, texting this person back and forth, right? When you know that you've already disqualified them. What this is called, guys, is this is strategic recruiting. This is like scouting, right? Like when you look at like sports organizations, they're strategic with the people they bring into their business. You know what I mean? They don't just bring in nobodies. They bring in the studs. They're bringing the guys that are going to come in and put up numbers, right? So that's the same thing that you want to do, right? When you bring people in, you want to bring heavy hitters in. You don't want to bring people in, they're going to come and just sit down and not do nothing. You want to bring in guys that are going to come in and contribute and put in work and pull their own weight. This is what's going to help you build an organization, right? If you're just in here to trade, then that's different, right? But when you want to build a business, right, you want to be strategic, and you want to find those good people, right? You want to find those qualified people, because they're out there. You know what I mean? They're out there. Look at you. You joined the business, right? You're here. You have the qualities, right? You have your why. You have your occupation that helps fund. You have the money to start. So why aren't there other people out there like that, right? So you just got to make sure that you're just finding them, right? So, and it all helps with activity too. You got to be active. You can't just talk to one person a week. You can't talk to just 2 people a week, right? You got to talk to more people, because if you're only talking to a couple people and those people aren't even formed, those people aren't even, they're not even qualified, then you feel like your business isn't moving, right? Because you got to talk to more people, right? Send those messages out. I got templates I can send to you guys, that you can send to certain people. You can edit it and make it yours. You know what I mean? I wake up every morning and I'm sending out the message to everybody. It's weird. It's awkward. I don't send it out to random people. I send it into people in my notification, which is for a whole nother trading. right? Like we'll switch it up next week, and we'll each training that we have, we'll do it from a different person, right? So that way you guys can see different perspectives from different educators, right? Different people who have what you want. You know what I mean? Tati's showing you how she hit the P. She went to P600 fast, really fast. Like Tati barely started building like 3-4 months ago, yo. You know what I'm saying? So she's giving us the gems on how she did it. Same thing with Rafi. Smashed P1K. You know what I mean? And he hit P1K faster than me. I hit P600 and 2 months later hit P1K. He hit P1K in a month. So whatever it is that he's talking about, y'all got to really sit down and listen to what that dude is talking about, because he's duplicating, right? His team is growing. You know what I'm saying? So again, the form, man, you're getting to know their family. You're figuring out their why. The occupation is you're figuring out what they do for work. What do you even do for work? You know what I mean? They might mess around and be, like I said, working at a bank or something that even has to do with numbers, right? And it also helps you figure out whether they don't make that much money. Maybe they only make minimum wage, okay? Or they're not even working at all. You know what I mean? That helps you find out whether they're even working, period. You know what I mean? Someone's not going to be in a hurry to go pay $175 a month and they ain't even working. You dig what I'm saying? So recreation, right? Recreation is what's going to help you figure out what they like to do for fun. You know what I mean? What it is they like to do for fun. You know, what are they into? You know, and that's where you can really dig into the relationship building, because then you relate. You're like, oh, bet, me too, shoot the stuff, da 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 da, and you kind of prolong a little bit, and then boom, jump into are you ready to invest? You know what I mean? Have you been saving up? That's my favorite one. Have you been putting money aside that you can, so that way you can start investing? That's my favorite one, because they'll tell you right off the rip, nah, I ain't having. I'm about to start saving now. I'm saving this. I'm gonna start saving this month. You know what I mean? And that puts you in the right position when you start asking for the sale, because you can't be afraid to ask for the sale. You know what I mean? That's the one thing I learned in all this customer service and sales jobs that I ever worked for, is I know how to ask for the sale. I'm not afraid. I'll tell you straight up. You ready to get started? I'll send you my link right now. You ready to start? Why we ain't starting? Why not? You know what I mean? You say you had the money. You said you've been saving up. What are we waiting for? Straight up. You know what I mean? And you got to posture up when you ask them. Like, you got to be, you can't, hey, you want to start? You want to start my business? You got to be, you ready to get started? You ready to take this leap of faith? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to posture up. You feel me? So like I said, guys, I don't want to hold you too much longer, man. It was just a real quick in and out form training. Be strategic, you guys. Work smarter, not harder, and be genuine when you're relationship building, right? Just be super genuine. You know what I mean? Y'all got any questions, by the way? I know Dez, you're in the kitchen. You can ask me something if you got a question. Let me see. The book Art of Clothes, I think that's what it's called. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a good book, bro. That's a good book, bro. Shit, if you got that, have you already read it? A little bit. Okay, you starting it right now. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, make that a part of yours. I actually, oh, matter of fact, I have a closing call that I could send you. I'll send it to you. If I don't know if you are, how far are you in deep in that one, but I have the Master of the Clothes. It's like this 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure, recording, bro, that I could send you. So I'll get that to you. But other than that, man, I'm gonna keep it short and go ahead and stop the recording, so that way when people watch it, it don't take too long for them. It's only like, it says an hour, but it didn't take us no damn hour. I just been on here for a while. But I'll go ahead and drop it in the chat for the squad. Other than that, man, y'all ain't got no questions. I will see y'all later. Let's get it, family.